Hey everyone, I'm Griffonicle, and today I'm going to show you the wonders of the Forge Lexicon mod, and I'm going to I'll finish probably the basics of thermal expansion, and I'm also going to show you how to set up the steam engine from thermal expansion. So let's get started, shall we? So, I'm fancy, well not terribly fancy, but I like to be dramatic about some things, and this is the Forge Lexicon. Now, the Forge Lexicon is a tool that allows you to transmutate certain materials like ingots that cross. So if you have more than one mod that uses copper, let's say, for example, you would come here. I'll grab some copper from, let's use industrial copper when I find it, and we'll just do it this way. Crafting table. So, apparently, okay, copper, do it this way. So you take one copper ingot, and you shove it in the Forge Lexicon. And then you can transmutate it into all the other coppers. There's copper ingots from here, copper ingot here, copper ingot, which is what this is right now. And then there's this. This copper is weaker, or apparently it's not a weaker grade. It's the same thing, but it's now a different color. That's how the Forge Lexicon works. Now, the mod Omni Tools also has this Omni Wrench, which is compatible with thermal expansion and works with it. It replaces the Crescent Wrench that's in the game, or that's in the mod now, and allows you to. It's basically a more advanced version. It'll fix more machines. So here are the recipes. To make the book itself, you need the Forge Lexicon. You need a book, an iron, gold, and cyan colored wool. And I'll show you the recipe for that. Cyan wool, or cyan dye, in case you didn't know how to make it, it's green and blue, basically. The crescent, or the prototype Omni Wrench, is 2 diamonds, 1 iron ingot, and 1 cyan wool. The mystical plinth is where you put the Forge Lexicon. No, Forge Lexicon. Yeah, I said it right the first time. I'm sorry. It's been a long day. Gold, 2 gold, cyan wool, and 3 obsidian. And I'll show you how the mystical plinth and Forge Lexicon work now. So I'm going to get rid of my book. And I don't need 2 of them. So you place down your plinth. And it's nothing special right now. You can't even, there's no interface to work with it. Put down the Forge Lexicon, there's a flash of lightning, and there you are. And let's go to thermal expansion. It's a beautiful mod, but it takes a lot of work just to maintain all the machines from thermal expansion. As you can see here, I've done a little bit. Now, I'm not using tesseracts yet. I'm going to show you how to set up tesseracts and redstone energy generators later. But for now, we're just going to use the basic steam engines, and I'll show you how to set these up. Okay, so here are all the basic recipes you're going to need to do anything with, well, they're not all, but here's the majority of them, the basics. This is how you make your crescent hammer. Your machine frames are very important. You'll need them to make any of these devices. Most devices will also require a redstone reception coil. And any piston you create anything that generates energy will require a redstone transmission coil, which is a silver and 2 redstone. And reception coils are red and gold. So I'm going to start here with the steam engine, which is this. You need a redstone transmission coil, 2 copper gears, which are these right here. It uses the 4 copper ingots and 1 iron. And then you also have a bucket and a piston. Or not buckets, sorry. The buckets for the magma crucible. Powered furnace, which is basically your ordinary furnace. Pulverizer. Pulverizer, if you know IC2, which most people do, the pulverizer is basically a macerator, but it can do many things at once. So, powered furnace. That's steam engine. Steam engines require water. Now, I'm using Railcraft's coal coke to power it because it's a much more efficient coal. And I'm pumping water. I'm not using tesseracts or energy generator. Actually, these use energy gens, but that's another story. So as you can see, I have 2 water pumps set up, and they have just barely depleted even one of the energy cells. Pumps don't do anything to these cells, so you can actually probably just run it off of 1 energy cell and be just fine. But now going back way over here, As you can see, I have a tank of water. Now, water, very important for steam engines. They erode and corrupt without them. So, let's get started. The only thing you really need to know how to use right away to make anything else in thermal expansion work is this. And this is the magma crucible. And as you can see, I already have it filled up with a small amount of redstone. So what I'll do, configuration, no, enabled, where is it? Liquid transposer, that's another thing. You can't currently transfer any of the liquid that's in the crucible now out of it. But right now, all that I can cook in the crucible is redstone. Magma crucibles drain a lot more energy than is produced by a steam engine while it's producing, so it's not exactly something that you can use while your machine is running. But the magma crucible will melt down redstone, and it will create this liquid known as liquid redstone. Liquid redstone is also is one of the most important things for thermal expansion. It is the purest of all energy sources, and you cannot go without it. So, with that being said, as you can see now, if I turn this on, it runs like any normal redstone engine. Well, that'll be all. I will see you later.